I don't shit a lot. I don't shit more than
you shit more. You shit more than anyone I know.
Seems like you do it a lot.
No. This is more of a thing that is done here on the show. I shit maybe probably the average is 1.56 times a day.
How long do you spend in the bathroom with those 1.5?
Quite a while, but I'm also a father of 2 and a husband.
So it's your alone time.
And I have a full-time job, and some days I have a very long commute, and so there are mitigating factors for what's going on here. But this whole thing is overblown today. Yeah, today's a day. Today's a day. So no guarantees. Okay. My situation in that department is similar to like how the Red Sox are running their entire fucking organizations for the past half decade, which is poorly or shitty, if you'd like to go that route. But I'll tell you this, the Red Sox don't need Raffy Devers. That's what we're here to tell you. And they cannot survive John Henry. So one thing broke, one is should break. Whether it does or not, I don't know. But we're here to tell you why. We're here to tell you how it's probably all going to shake out, because we've seen this story over and over and over again the past several years. We're going on a decade, past a half decade. This is how the Red Sox are run now. It should come as no surprise to you that you should not believe a single word out of their mouth, and that this big time move was made. They are running the organization as well as I am handling my bowel movements. So as we always do, let's start with some opening takes here in the Simple Minds Sports Show Friday Rewind. Allow me to go to first and just extend the intro to this program. Fuck the Red Sox yet again. I feel like I do this every goddamn year, Ray. Oh, by the way, congratulations. Season 6. Welcome.
Welcome.
6 times I've done this, maybe twice. Sometimes I do it twice. Fuck the Red Sox, okay? Yet again, this is a team that a trifecta of dysfunction that we've been talking about, from ownership to management to the field. They are the epitome of a dysfunctional organization. We will chronicle that for you in the show today. But I've canceled the MLB network. I'm not paying for that bullshit to watch the Red Sox anymore. Another boycott from Team McPhee here on this team, even though they're playing well. I'd like to root for the players. The team is more it's easier to root for the team now that the petulant cunt is off of it. However, because of the dysfunction and no future because of the ownership of this team, I won't. I'll pay attention on the fringes because we do this show. Fuck them. I'm not giving them the money. They have not deserved it. They have not earned it. Bobby?
Yeah.
Well, since it's June and the only thing left to talk about is baseball, I'll talk about Jabril Pepper's rap album. He has a new one out. His new song's called Point 'Em Out, and I'll kind of give you the gist of it. It kind of goes like this. Hey, I was a great guy for years, went to college, everything was fine. And then I had a year under Gerard Mayo and I copped coke and smacked a bitch. He ruined his fucking career. That's what happened. Fuck you, Gerard Mayo, wherever you are.
I can't confirm that that's what it says, but I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
To it. It is actually, that's what it is.
Okay. Well, we're gonna need to.
I'll send it to you tonight after the show.
Excellent. Raymond.
Thank you there, Richard. 34 more days. 34 more days until the New England Patriots open the 2025 training camp. 50 more days until the New England Patriots have their first preseason game against the Commanders, and 80 more days until the New England Patriots have their first game of the 2025 season against the Las Vegas Raiders. That is all I have to look forward to now for the sports for the rest of the 2025, because the Fenway Group needs to sell because they are just botching the whole program right now. The Bruins are officially in rebuild mode, and the Celtics will be without Jason Tatum until at least 2026. So, Drake, don't fuck this up, bud.
Oh, Ray's disappointment this year with the Patriots is going to be a must-watch. It's just melting into his own puddle of misfortune is going to be must-watch stuff. So we'll do all that tonight. The Red Sox back to a laughingstock, although the team on the field is winning as of now. Look, just don't get too used to it. We'll talk about that. The ins and outs of the Raffy Devers trade, some of the highlights from that debacle. 10 questions from a guy named Rob. A little check-in on the Celtics and the Bruins. This or that? Nope. Scratch that. Dr. Big Mac's big brain gets racist, so you definitely want to check in with that. And Simplest Minds of the Week, as always. This is the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday Rewind, June 20th, live here on Juneteenth. Happy holiday, everybody. Happy holiday. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm going to quay all these. I'm going to fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot.
I feel like we're due for another QUE moment. We got to give Ray a little bit more runway to get some of that stupid falling out of his mouth again. You know?
I know, yeah, he's been holding it
I'm
in
drinking.
for a while.
Yeah,
I've
he
been
has
drinking.
been drinking on the show for a while, washing
I
his
know.
weight like an asshole, and that's when he gets quiet, or he does the gummy and gets real quiet. Oh,
I've been drinking, baby. Don't worry.
He's got those 4.2 high noons. He's gonna be
I've been drinking all day. Don't worry about it, baby.
That,
I'll be
you know?
good.
letting her rip. We got to get into it. This is a very boring, don't give a shit season. Unless you're a Red Sox fan, unless you're paying into the Red Sox. We'll get there in 1 second. Before we do, as always, if you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. New room for Bobby, devilishly handsome. Ray, if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, please rate, subscribe, review, tell your friends, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're bringing you content every week, show every week. Go to simplemindsports.com, join the newsletter. We've got some free giveaways coming around from Fan Fanatic, your most popular Boston apparel shop in New England. So go to the website, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We'll give you some free shit. And come back here every Thursday night or Friday morning to hear our latest on Boston sports. And today, we're starting Red Sox, of course, in the Devers trade. However, look, if it wasn't for this ridiculous trade, what we'd be talking about is the Red Sox winning, 11 of 13 or 9 of 11, wherever you want to draw that line. The pitching coming into form, a sweep of the Yankees. They've won their past 4 series, 6 out of 7, I believe. The team is playing well. They're back in playoff contention. They're above 500. You've got Marcelo Mayer coming on strong here with the bat. You got some young kids doing it. Kristen Campbell, R.I.P. sent back to the minors. Little blip in the radar there for the nerds over there at Fenway. We can get into that if you'd like. Fucking snowball on that. Those dickheads and their fucking parade that they launched when they gave that guy a contract and sent him up to the big leagues for no fucking reason because he didn't deserve it. The things wrong with the Red Sox, the list is so long, but we haven't had a chance to talk about the Devers trade. So let's do that. Raffy Devers traded to the New York Giants, to the San Francisco Giants. In return, Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, and prospects James Tibbs and Jose Bayo. Jordan Hicks is 28 years old. He has struggled as a starting pitcher with a 6.47 ERA. He is the hallmark piece that you've got in return here as a Major League Baseball player. Because the other kid, it's a 23-year-old pitcher named Kyle Harrison, who was immediately sent down to the minors in the return for Raffy Devers. He's sporting a 4.56 ERA in the big leagues this year. Tibbs, the 22-year-old outfielder, was the 13th pick overall in the first round of the draft by the Giants last year, but he's 22. Roman Anthony is 20. So he's the 13th ranked prospect in the Giants system as a 22-year-old outfielder. The Red Sox have about 1 billion outfield prospects. So, if you get excited about that, God bless you. The other kid's a 20-year-old rookie playing in Florida. They didn't get shit back. They got nothing. This was a salary dump through and through. And I'm having a hard time determining where I want to start with this. Does anyone want to give just their general opinion on their first initial reaction when the Raffy Devers trade went through?
It's funny that they were on a West Coast trip, so they didn't have to deal with the fans and the backlash. They did it. They kind of scapegoated that way. I think that was hilarious. Devers, yeah. It seemed like he was hitting. He was connecting. He just wanted, like, before he got dealt, 2 hours before he got dealt, he had a press conference and there he was saying, I just want to help this team win at any cost. Whatever they need me to do, I'll do. And then all of a sudden, see ya, you're going to San Francisco.
Bobby.
Yeah, the first thing I thought the trade was I was interested in it because obviously we've discussed how much of an asshole this guy is. But then I looked at who those players were, and I don't know baseball anything. I'm like, was this worth it? Is this a good trade? I don't know, but ultimately we'll see how it pans out for them. It could be addition by subtraction.
Here's the problem, and here's where the confusion comes in. The initial reaction for me was good. I hate that guy sucks. Get him off the team. He does not have a winning quotient. He was part of the 2018 championship team as a platoon rookie. That hit like, what's the most memorable hit you can remember from Raffy Devers? Exactly. You don't have one. Since then, he has been the poster child of a losing organization, which we've talked about a lot on this show. You know, one of the big reasons, in my opinion, we got here with Raffy Devers is because the way the organization has not only handled him, but the entire thing, which they continue to do, which is they made a complete shift in ideology, fiscal ideology. They're now 13th in payroll as a franchise that's worth $5 billion. So that alone is going to set you up for failure or mediocrity or both. Their path towards the future is going on 10 years. The future is the present for the Red Sox. To put it plainly, they are managing assets. They are reacting to a market that is called baseball, and they're managing assets like it's a hedge fund. They're not building a baseball team. So it's a love-hate relationship for me on this move. I love that Raffy Devers is off the Red Sox. He's an overpaid DH that is not a leader. He's a very good hitter. Overall, he's a pretty good baseball player. Their World Series odds didn't change one iota with him on the team or off the team. So that should tell you everything. Vegas doesn't give a fuck. His teammates don't give a fuck. John Henry had a meeting with this kid, looked him in the eye and said, "Can you play first base?" He said, "No."
I played
Third base.
No, third base. John Henry crinkled himself out of whatever fucking chair he was in, like Mr. Burns, and said, "Get that piece of shit off my team because I don't want to pay him $30 million a year. I never wanted to pay him $30 million a year. I don't want to pay anybody $30 million a year for 10 years. That's our philosophy. Get him off the team." And then Craig Breslow went and found the one team that would pay this guy's full salary, and that was the number one. That's the biggest problem. That was the number one thing that they were looking for, is to take the salary. They weren't looking to improve the team. So you can say addition by subtraction, like Marcus Smart leaving the Celtics was addition by subtraction. Marcus Smart is not as good a basketball player as Raffy Devers is a good baseball player. So you don't get better on the field moving Raffy Devers and getting the return that they got. So I like that he's off the team. I hate the fact that it was because it was a salary dump. And this is more of a bigger picture, like I started the show. It's more of a bigger picture of the dysfunction of the Red Sox, which we got chronicled. God damn it, I didn't write his name down. Who was the? Go ahead.
Dustin Pedroia.
No. No, the reporter that gave the massive takedown article this week. I'll find it in a sec. If one of you guys wants to,
I want to ask you a question. So, if you were like the young kids that they're bringing up here, the mayor, Anthony, Duran, Cassis, wouldn't you be looking at this and be like, all right, they're not going to pay me that kind of money. They've shipped off Betts. They've shipped off, or they let Xander Bogaerts go to San Diego, and now they just shipped off Devers. Like, what is my future here in Boston? Like, do you think these guys look at that kind of stuff and be like, I don't have a future here. Like, pretty much when my contract's up, I got to go to the highest bidder and get out of here because, like, no matter what, this team's not going to treat me right, and they're going to just ship me off to the highest bidder if I don't produce.
Yes. Yeah, they're building a culture of they're building a culture of mistrust and dysfunction. They will tell you, and I have a lot of quotes here from management. They will tell you that that's one of the reasons they got rid of Raffy Devers, because he was feeding into that, and his negative attitude was not building a winning culture here. But you're absolutely right. If Roman Anthony in 3 or 4 years, if they lowball him in extensions like they did with Mookie Betts, like they did with Bogarts, like they did with Devers, until they were forced into giving him a deal because the entire city of Boston booed John Henry out of the Winter Classic. if they low and John Lester, like it goes down the line, if they lowball these kids with the extension and it comes time to nut cutting time, they have no history of keeping their homegrown talent around.
No.
So yeah, you're exactly right. In the here and now, Marcelo Mayer and Roman Anthony aren't thinking about that. They're thinking about getting hits. Roman Anthony has 2 hits in the big league. But when the time is right, it's in the back of their mind. Is just like, and that's how you breed losing culture when guys are here for themselves. Roman Anthony steps in the box. Roman Anthony is hitting for Roman Anthony. He's not hitting for the Red Sox. That's where you got to Raffy Devers. That's why you had to trade him, because you built an organization of losing dysfunction. So everybody's out for theirs. They're not out for the team. And then you get a guy like Raffy Devers that when asked to move off third or play first, he says, no, third base, because you fucked around and haven't put a winning organization out there and cheaped out, and you've been a mess, and you get players acting like this.
So you think some of these players are like scared though? Like say like, what if Roman Anthony, they want him to move to a different position? Do you think now like, oh shit, now I have to do it because I don't want to be labeled like Raffy Devers?
No. I think that especially in a sport like baseball, and this is I saw a quote. I don't know if it was a report or just an anonymous quote, but the response around baseball is bad for Devers. It's also bad for the Red Sox, but their dysfunction goes deep. We're going to get into it. The way Raffy Devers handled himself is not good. You don't do that. Of course not. Yeah. You're asked. He was not asked to do a whole lot, and he was asked very nicely and given a ton of fucking slack to be pissed and then get over it and move on. Okay. You don't want to do the third base. You don't want to practice. You don't want to rehab. You don't want to play anything. You don't want to play at all in spring training. You start the year statistically, quite literally, with the worst start in MLB history because you didn't give a fuck. And then you hit again. And then your first baseman goes down. And no. Then the third baseman goes down. Your original position. No. Like, you don't get away with that. That's not going to affect other guys in the team from a standpoint of I better do what the team tells me. That's going to affect them with like, what's this guy's fucking problem? Why are we dealing with the undercurrent of Raffy Devers this season? Just get this guy out of here. He's a pill. Like, just move on. Like, he sucks. He's not doing anything for us other than hitting the ball, which is fairly important. But, if you're trying to build something, it's gonna hold you back.
Well, like you've been saying all along, if you're a cancer in a locker room and you have all this young nucleus in the locker room, then you don't want this guy to be the lead guy, the top paid guy in the locker room. So yeah, you don't want this guy giving negative thoughts to these younger guys and be like, no, don't give a fuck, don't worry about this and all that other shit. So getting rid of him was probably the best thing for this young core.
Yeah, I think in the long run, it's a good move to move on from. You hate the way that it went down and you hate the return. So you have to, there's a report that Breslow didn't shop it around. And now, like always with these big deals, you're getting reports from every angle, from everybody trying to cover their ass. So you're getting the smear campaign of guys leaving Boston is historic, right? Tito Francona is heralded as the best manager in Red Sox history, broke the curse in 2004. You have the 2011 chicken and beer scandal, and all of a sudden he's like
piece of shit.
Like they were talking about like sex stuff with Tito. Like they were bringing out the woodwork to smear this guy on the way out of town. This is why everybody has a full membership card to hate the Red Sox. I hate them. I don't hate the team, but I hate the ownership, and now I hate the management. Sam Kennedy, fuck off. Every word out of that guy's mouth from now on is a lie. That dude has not told you the truth in years. He is a lying man. Craig Breslow, I don't think he knows what he's saying half the time. It's very Gerard Mayo-y, corporate mumbo-jumbo, nerd speak that just tries to confuse you and get you on the next program instead of just saying Raffy Devers was an asshole, so we decided to move on from him. We didn't want to retain any salary because John Henry had a meeting with him and he hates the guy now. So I did my best, and I'm not very good at my job. That's how Craig Breslow should have summed up how the Raffy Devers trade went down. You don't want to eat any salary, John? Like a little bit? Can you get their best prospect back, who's a first baseman, who's struggling in AAA right now, but that is a top 20 prospect in baseball? I forget his name, Eldridge, I think, from the San Francisco Giants. Can you just eat a little salary from Devers to get the top-rated prospect, who's a first baseman, which you have not had since? I can't tell you the last. Fucking Mo Vaughn's the last regular first baseman the Red Sox have had that you can rely on. You can't eat a little salary. You had at least a couple teams that were in the running that if you ate some salary, they would have been your return would have been better. You would have been a better team now and a better team in the future. Their main goal is to not eat any of that money, which is why everybody has a full membership card to hate this fucking team. And it starts
even with Boston fans. Yeah.
It's
talking about Bryce Eldridge.
I think I nailed that. Didn't I say Eldridge?
You did.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Your dysfunction, this whole scenario is a microcosm for the dysfunction of this team. And out of it, June Lee is the guy's name I was talking about who wrote the piece. It's on Mass Live, I believe. Go read June Lee. I'm gonna give you some quotes from it. But the dysfunction in the Red Sox organization will not be solved without a sale of this team. It starts at the very top. It starts at the absolute very top of John Henry. The 13th in payroll. That's where they want to be. They're worth $5 billion. Liverpool spent $150 million in the offseason. The Fenway Sports Group is out there spending money. This is the way it's going to be. And you combine that with the expectations of the city, the expectations of the organization, and the way that they lie to everybody and bullshit their way through every deal that they make and don't make. This is the way it's going to be until John Henry dies or sells. Just
do you think he's going to sell, though? Do you think, honestly, in like the next 5 years, do you think he's selling this team?
No, he's never selling this team. As long as he is alive, he will not sell this team. I don't understand why people think that's happening. This is a line item on his fucking book. He's going to be the Fenway Sports Group is like trying to take over. This is what these conglomerates do. The private equity group for the Dodgers just bought the fucking Lakers for $10 billion. No one's selling. Nobody's selling the Boston Red Sox. John Henry dies and whoever gets it wants to sell it. Fine. That might happen. But no.
So
buckle up, people. It's going to suck forever.
No, there's no way. How old is he?
He's not that old. 70s. He's not that old. Modern medicine.
And he has access to a lot of special drugs. Keep him going.
Yeah.
75. Yeah. 75.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to suck for a long time. So you take that, you got the ownership, their whole view of the whole thing. People are not making a big enough deal of this. I'm all over the place in this. I've been trying to figure out how I want to talk about it today. And there's so many angles I haven't figured out. I'm not good enough at this. And I have pooping on my brain. I'm prairie dogging this whole time. And I've just lost my train of thought. Oh, people are not making a big enough deal of the fact that John Henry flew out of whatever dark cave he was in to Kansas City, to sit down in some dusty room with Raffy Devers, a player on his team, and the brand new GM, who's a nerd, Greg Breslow. We're unsure if Alex Cora was even allowed in that meeting or if he was like adjacent to this meeting. John Henry, who doesn't speak to the media, who has not publicly shown his face barely ever, flew to Kansas City, Missouri to sit down with Raffy Devers to ask him if he was going to continue to be a piece of shit or not. And Raffy Devers said yes.
Yes, I am. See.
The fact that that's not brought up every time this story comes up is ludicrous. Keep an eye out. Tell me the next time an owner, especially one that is not like in the limelight, not talking, that is, not looking for headlines, flies to the Midwest to confront a star player who tells him basically to fuck off. Tell me the next time that happens in professional sports.
Had to happen with Tyreek Hill, maybe.
It will not happen. It won't. That was and John Henry, he knew it too. He knew this guy was going to tell him to fuck off. This was his out. It's like, I'm getting out of this $300 million contract. I'm going to fly my skeleton ass to Kansas City, corner this fucking brat, and make him play first base, and he's not going to do it. And I'm going to tell Breslow to trade him for nothing. It was all Mr. Burns' plan. He's going to go drop 150 million on some fucking pussy soccer player in Europe. Sorry, Ray, I didn't mean that.
Several pussy soccer players in Europe.
I want to move on to field personnel and how the Red Sox don't really need Devers. Do you want to touch on that at all, Ray? The ownership piece of this and the fact that they own Liverpool, they spend a bunch of money in Liverpool. If people think that doesn't matter, you're stupid. There's reports that they want to potentially sell a minority or a majority piece of the Penguins. I'm talking about Fenway Sports Group here, of course. They've been linked to the Las Vegas NBA team. That who knows what that's going to be, how much you're going to have to pay for that. The Celtics sold for $7+ billion. The Lakers sold for 10. So what does it take to get in there? Who knows? If you don't think all those things are related, you're nuts. How do you not read between the lines on that? What else do you know about Liverpool, Ray?
Well, Liverpool has one of the top 5 premier players in Salah. They just signed him to a lucrative deal a few years ago. Then they just signed their center midfielder, I believe, for like $150 million. And I think they have a left back or a right back they have to sign still. And he's going to get up to like $50 to $60 million. So they are spending. They just won the Premier League last year. So they're spending top dollar to retain all these guys and keep that group together. So I just think ownership is putting all their eggs in that basket because that is probably a bigger market. I mean, it's weird to say because Boston Red Sox is such a big thing around in America, but the Premier League is the top echelon of soccer out there in Europe. So, I mean, they're putting all their eggs in that basket right now.
Well, they're putting a lot of them in there. And Liverpool, from a net worth standpoint, are worth a little bit more than the Red Sox at this point in time. And they're winning, which helps.
Championships. That usually helps.
Okay, let me just move to the field personnel real quickly to wrap up the Devers side of it. This is why I'm confident that I'm right about Devers moving on from the team. His teammates don't care. They do not care that this guy.
Didn't Durant say he was taking a nap or something?
He said, I got the quote from Durant is, he's a great player, but at the end of the day, it's how many guys on the roster? 26. That's just one guy. We've got 25 other guys that are pulling from the same line to win the series, not just one. That's the key line there. So he was very dismissive in the first line. How many guys we got on the team? 26? This is one of them. Like, fuck this guy.
Fuck him.
But the key line is, that's just one guy. We've got 25 other guys that were pulling for the same line to win those series. You could just see this is how baseball goes. And if you have a winning team, then you can deal with someone like Raffy Devers. If you have a growing team like the Red Sox, you can't. You've got young guys trying to learn how to win, all pulling in the right direction, all rooting for each other, all doing what it takes to win for the team. And then Devers is in the corner telling his general manager and quite literally his ownership to fuck off in Kansas City. Duran's like, I don't need that. We don't need that. Like, I get you're really good, but you're not on the same page. Good riddance. Cora has been reported this. He didn't say it. I'll give you his quote. You can read between the lines, but he is quite relieved not have to deal with this on a day-to-day basis. I don't blame him. Here's his quote. There's some reasons it didn't work out, right? I don't want to pinpoint stuff, but the last few months haven't been easy. We made decisions in the offseason. Circumstances have changed the last month, and that's the business decision we made as an organization. You want me to read that between the lines for you?
Yeah, please.
If anybody would like to remove the fence out of my ass that is currently residing from Alex Cora, feel free. But that's me saying the organization handled this like a dysfunctional recluse, and the player was an asshole to deal with. I've been caught in the middle trying to win ball games, and I'm glad it's fucking over. That was Cora's reaction to that. And then just to top it all off, the petulant little bitch that he is in spring training when asked if he would move on for third base, very famously, no. When asked to play first base, no. They asked me to put him in my glove, which led to this trade. The second he lands in San Francisco, actually, before we get to that, can I just give you the most, like, my favorite part of this?
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that they made that trade Sunday night after they swept the Yankees and are about to go on a West Coast swing for 10 days and be out of the limelight in Boston and playing at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
fucking cowards by the Red Sox.
Yes.
But also they dick this guy down one more time. He gets on the Red Sox plane, and then they're like, actually, you're traded, bitch. Get a fucking taxi. We're not getting you a car service back to Fenway. Get your own taxi back to Fenway. Get your shit and get yourself to San Francisco. Bye-bye. The video of him showing up to Fenway in a taxi, walking into the garage with like a duffel bag and then driving himself out of there, is like, fuck you, dude. Peace. And then he shows up in San Francisco and says this.
Big kind of questions for you is, there's a 5-time Gold Glover at third base already. He's not healthy right now, but once he returns, it's the matter of position. Have you talked to Buster and Bob about potentially playing first base? Do you see yourself more as a designated hitter? And what were those conversations with the Giants brass like regarding your long-term position with this team?
Que si has hablado. Yo estoy aquí para ayudar al equipo en lo necesario, en lo que ellos quieran. Soy uno más del equipo y estoy disponible a dar el 100% de mí donde me pongan. No tengo ningún pero, no tengo ninguna decisión. Solamente ellos son los jefes míos y juego donde me pongan.
I'm here to give my 100%. I don't put any buts. They're the men in charge. I am here to play wherever they want me to play.
What a cunt.
What a prick. What an absolute prick. All right, we've got a lot of quotes here. We're running late on the Red Sox, but I do want to get to that June Lee story. So I talked about the dysfunction, the 3 prongs of dysfunction of the Red Sox. The ownership, which is running it like a mid-market team. We thought that might have changed a little bit this year with Craig Breslow spending a little money, making big trades. Not the case. We know that now. We talked about the on-field players just trying to get in the right direction. But then you get to the front office and you get Sam Kennedy lying with every word that he talks. Everything that he says is a lie. We don't have to play the clip right now, right? Just go look up Sam Kennedy's press conference after Devers. Everything he says is nonsense. And then you got Breslow. His corporate jargon is really annoying, but honestly, from his press conference, a lot of what he had to say is basically what we were just saying. It's 1,000 words to say Raffy Devers was an asshole in the locker room. Most people wanted him gone, and I had a mandate from ownership to not eat any of the money. That was more or less what he said. The question will be, will they go spend that money on anybody to help the team this year and moving forward?
Nope.
I don't think the answer is a flat no. They're
not going to spend all that money. They'll probably spend some of it, but they're not going to spend all of it.
This is true. But I would be very surprised if they did not make a deal at the deadline this year to try and help their team. It won't be anything. You're right. It won't be anything big. They're not going to blow us out of the water with something. They're not going to sign those deals. That's coming from ownership. But they have to. They have to.
Well, it all depends on how they're doing too. If they're above 500, they have a shot at making the playoffs, which they do right now. Aren't they theoretically the last playoff spot right now for the wild card?
I think so. I think
it just depends on where they are. The July 31st is a long ways away. So, I mean, we still got a month and a half left of baseball to see where they go. I mean, they are on a hot streak right now with Devers gone. Let's see what happens come then. If they're still winning, then yeah, I think they're going to spend, let's call it half. They'll probably spend half that salary that Devers had.
Yeah, we'll see.
Adding.
Let me just read you these quotes and then we'll turn it over here. This is from Breslow. It's important to point out that this is in no way signifying a waving of the white flag in 2025, which I believe. We're committed. I don't believe this. We're committed as we were 6 months ago to putting a winning team on the field, to competing with our division and making a deep postseason run. I don't believe that's true. I think they're managing assets, but I think they're constantly trying to split the baby, look to the future, not sign any deals that they don't like. They're trying to win deals. They're not trying to build a baseball team. So both things can be true. And this is why I believe that. This quote right here. I think when you consider the flexibility, the ability to give some of the young players some run, the opportunity to maybe repackage some of the resources and fill some voids in the roster as early as approaching this year's deadline and be really intentional about the environment that we create for these young players to thrive in, then I do think that there's a real chance that at the end of the season we'll be looking back and we'll have one more games that we have otherwise would have. Whew. That's a lot of words to say what he was trying to say there.
I like how you read that very fast, too.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay. Maybe we'll get back to this because it is baseball season and good chance the Red Sox go into a dive, but we will. Next week, we'll do a fuller dive into the true dysfunction of the Red Sox, starting with this piece from June Lee in Breslow. I'm just going to read these full quotes. They're fucking awesome. Meanwhile, Breslow has grown increasingly insulated. Multiple sources within the organization describe a front office losing cohesion. Staffers who helped rebuild 4 championship teams, veterans of Theo Epstein, Ben Sherrington, Dave Dombrowski, and Bloom regimes now feel shut out of the operation. The collaborative spirit that once defined the Red Sox baseball operations has frayed. The discontent intensified in May 24 when Breslow brought in sports consulting firm Sportsology to conduct an organizational audit. The stated purpose was to streamline baseball operations. In practice, it triggered a wave of firings and accelerated the marginalization of some of the longest tenured voices in the building, characterizing the culture shift to align with more Wall Street efficiency. One of the clearest signals came in an internal team Zoom meeting earlier this season. Toward the end, Carl Mosch, the Red Sox scouting supervisor and a team employee since 2017, thought the call had ended. It hadn't. As the meeting wrapped up, his voice cut through a quiet moment. Quote, "Thanks, Brez, you fucking stiff," Mosch said, according to team sources. Mosch was later fired.
You fired.
And Breslow continues to insulate them. What kind of other language do you need? A characterizing the culture shift to align with a more Wall Street efficiency, a consulting firm called Sportsology to streamline baseball operations, to marginalize some of the, this is Gerard Mayo. This is Gerard Mayo and Optum rolling into Fenway, trying to make this, they are not building baseball teams anymore. They are reacting to the market and managing assets. That's the Boston Red Sox.
Yuck.
So congratulations. Congratulations to you. Oh, also they're running interviews with AI bots.
That's fucking awesome.
Which they
Kind of cool.
Can
we get those bots to come up with content for us?
I think they do. I think that's how Ray does the social media.
Yeah, great.
Maybe.
Great. Never mind.
Anyway, sorry, boys. I feel like that was a McPhee rant there on the Red Sox as per usual.
And now we know why you have hot snakes.
And now
It all comes together.
And frankly, I feel better.
How?
I feel better. So we'll give you guys a little time to chance. Let's throw it over to headlines with the obvious one, which I know is touches his heart. This subject, we don't do it much in the show, but I wanted to give him a spot to really touch on it. And then 10 questions with a guy named Rob.
Okay, hi, I'm your host, the obvious one. Let's dive into some WNBA tea things that actually matter, because apparently Boston's not a thing in women's slams, and I love the WNBA. First up, Commissioner's Cup Final. Fever versus Lynx showdown. Indiana Fever stomped Connecticut 88-71 with Caitlin Clark dropping 20 points and 6 assists and getting poked in the eye by J.C. Sheldon, then shoved to the floor by Marina Mayberry. Cue digital replay of my eyeballs rolling in the back of my skull.
Yeah.
League slapped Marbury with a flagrant 2 and a fat fine of $18. No suspension, though. Classic WNBA. Let's keep it spicy, but not too spicy vibe. Now the Fever, 4-1 in the cup record, face off against MVP frontrunner Nafisi.
Nailed it.
Yep. And Lynx, they're 5-1 on July 1st for a juicy 500,000 pot. That's a cool $5K for each player. While my dumbass tries to lift my naked ass off the shitter. Number 2, Caitlin Clark's return was a show. Clark missed 5 games with a quad injury, returned, and boom, 32 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds in a rivalry-stirring upset over New York Liberty and handed them their first loss ever this season. Her comeback was top 3 watched WNBA game on ABC, 2.2 million average, 2.8 million peak. The NHL Stanley Cup Game 6 got only 2.4 million views. Losers. Yeah, triple trouble. Angel Reese makes history. Chicago Skies. Angel Reese pulled a first ever WNBA triple double, 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists, plus 3 steals and 2 blocks in a 78-66 win over Connecticut. Brawls ensued. Reese got grabbed by the hair and threw hands because she's a badass, and I respect her immensely. 8:30 piece night scoring frenzy. Holy fudge. I love fudge. 8 different players dropped 30 points in 1 week, from Caitlin Clark to Paige Buckners and Nafise Buckners. Yep, and Collier again. I love these girls, slaying so hard. Standing snapshot as of June 18th. The Lynx are 11-1, Liberty 10-1, Mercury 9-4, Atlanta Dream 8-4, Seattle Storm 7-5, and the Fever are 6-5. We got some rumor mills though. Quickly. Liberty Natasha Cloud to face her ex-teams after offseason drama. She got blindsided in trades, ended up in New York, and now she leads with 6 assists a game alongside, never can say that girl's name, and Stewart. Go Queens. Kelsey Mitchell's been balling for Indiana, but big whispers around the league. Aaliyah Boston ever sent her a cheeky 2-word shout out this week? I think it was nice claim. Nice. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Stay thick, Boston. 10 questions with a guy named Rob.
That's certainly help WNBA viewership.
Yeah.
Not that it needs it.
I watched it on Sunday.
Finals, apparently.
I watched it on Sunday. It was pretty good. Caitlin Clark, she's nasty.
Of course you watched it. Clearly, you just did 10 minutes on the WNBA headlines. We have to do this now. This is a new thing. Welcome to 10 questions from a guy named Rob. We talk about the Lakers sale, the WNBA, Father's Day, Major League Baseball.
Shedeur Sanders,
Jabril Peppers' rap album, among other things. This is a guy named Rob. 10 questions, please. By all.
Does the new Lakers sale make the Luka trade feel even more sketchy now?
Yes, it does, because now you have all that star power there in LA. It makes it so it's a very intriguing to go buy it. So $10 billion and Luka Doncic. Yep.
Yeah, it kind of seems like the NBA knew that they wanted to have this happen and drive up the price to their prized franchise here even more, to be now the highest in American sports history.
And because they want the expansion teams to be able to pay, they wanted all these teams that were selling to have a price so they can have these expansion teams have like a starting price.
So I think it drives up that was the whole talk around the Celtics. I don't know if it makes it more sketchy. It's maybe top 3 sketchiest NBA moves of all. It's up there with the Patrick Ewing frozen draft card. Mm-hmm. Like it's all a money play. I'm sure this is somewhere in there. Yeah, I'm sure this was part of it somewhere.
Absolutely.
But like this, how much does Luka change in evaluation of the Lakers? If the Lakers sold for $10 billion with Luka, what do they sell without Luka? Like I don't know how much that number actually changed. Luka dodges an $2 billion evaluation change. No,
well, because you got LeBron, who's going to be 40.
That's not how it works. That's just not fucking how it works, right? I don't disagree.
Hot snakes are coming back.
I don't disagree with you that it was all probably part of some conspiracy and they all kind of knew what the fuck was going on. But like Luka Doncic doesn't swing an evaluation of a franchise $2 billion, except if you're the Mavericks. Maybe they're he doesn't swing the Lakers $2 billion. He probably swung the Mavericks $2 billion down the other way.
Is the WNBA getting better?
Raymond?
Yes, it is. I seriously watched it. Like, I know that Headlines with the Obvious One was like a little fucking joke. I actually watched the WNBA this weekend.
Caitlin Clark is fire.
She's fun to watch. She's fun to watch.
Yes, I know. The rest of it?
I haven't seen a game, so I'll trust you nerds on this.
Oh, shit, you misogynist freak.
You fucking
goddamn right.
Women's rights, baby.
You're goddamn right. Speaking of misogynism, is Father's Day essentially guaranteed sex day?
Nope, because I didn't get it.
Oh, what? Come on, Ray.
You
walk
boned
in
so
there
much,
and
Bobby.
take what's
Bobby,
yours.
that dick, give it a rest, buddy. Jesus Christ.
How
Every
many
time.
kids? He's
Hey,
growing
it's
a tribe.
Yeah.
If there's one, that should I think that's above the birthday, because the birthday is about you. This is about you fathering their children.
So I didn't get it on Father's
Siren.
Day.
I like
My
for
birthday
you
was
to
on
use the word
Tuesday.
siring more.
No, so listen. I didn't get it on Father's Day. My birthday was on Tuesday.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ray. I know. We've been celebrating your birthday for a fucking month, dude.
I got
it up.
sex on Monday. I didn't get sex on my birthday, nor did I get it on Father's Day. I got it on Monday.
Wow, that's
You're
when
doing
she's-
it all
when She's
wrong.
comfortable.
All wrong.
I don't even remember Father's Day. I don't. Yeah, I would go.
I
with that.
don't even remember. He said. Very good. Are the Rays overvalued at 1.7 billion?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because they don't even have a fucking
Absolutely.
stadium to play at.
I changed a couple of Bobby's questions here because they're redundant with some topics that we hadn't talked about yet. I just put that in like the Rays are worth 1.7 billion, which they are overrated. The Lakers 10, like just.
Yeah, but they have a home. Rays don't have a home right now.
No, I know that they are over. They're probably they probably are overvalued.
But did
They'll
you see
get
the,
it.
the stadium that they're playing in? It's kind of cool.
Just the difference between franchises is nuts.
It is.
And it's not like the MLB, they're a $10 billion organization. Like for one of those franchises to be so much lower than the rest it says everything you need to know about baseball.
Yeah, there's a big divide between the bottom teams in baseball. Some of those, they're just borderline AAA teams.
Yeah. Tax
need
exempt
relegation.
capitalism fucked over Tampa Bay, like you read about.
Need relegation, baby.
Uh,
MLS is getting it.
I love you, Ray, but again, that wouldn't help. I don't know what that does to help evaluations of ball clubs.
So you stop sucking.
But if you're at the bottom and you get relegated, then your value goes down even more.
But I'm just saying, so teams would stop sucking.
He's just talking about competitive balance, not the money.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the money. God damn it. I have to shit.
Shador Sanders got busted driving 101 miles per hour. Will the Browns use this to dump him?
No. He had the best spring by far. He was like 100 for 100, like dialed in at minicamp.
Yeah.
He's going to be their starting quarterback on day. I
There
saw this when they drafted him.
Yeah, there
He'll-
is potential.
He will start the season as a starting quarterback for the Browns.
Did you see that one thing, the one tweet that guy had? He goes, they were talking about that. They're like, Shador was going 110 or 160 or whatever. And they're like, that's not the biggest news. He was supposed to go 25 and he dropped to 155. That's the biggest shocker of Cleveland history.
He is a prick, though. He's got to mature,
of course,
real fast.
Yeah.
As we discussed previously, Jabril Peppers dropped a rap album under the alias J Pep. If you were going to have a rap alias, what would it be? I'll tell you mine. It's Lil Wigwam X.
You had all day to think about that.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. I can't compete with that.
All right, very good. More tornadoes have touched down in Denver than the Rockies have wind. Coach says, don't let him get hot. Should we believe him?
Yes. Yeah. That was an unbelievable quote. The Rockies won 2 games in a row. I think they're 10 and whatever. They're on pace, what we put here, on pace for 137 losses with a 514 run differential, which would be the worst in MLB history by 164 runs. And the manager comes out and says, don't let him get hot.
They do it.
They were the one that
wall.
played them. They were the ones playing the Marlins, right? When they only had like 60 people there or something like that.
That makes sense.
I think, yeah, we had that on the last show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Counting the
video.
guys in the stands.
Who will be the one player to get arrested during this June break before camp from the Pats?
Trevion Henderson.
What?
How dare you, Ray?
You said it. Who will be? I mean, it's gonna be someone shocking.
Slander the name of a young
I was gonna say Javon Baker.
see Stephon Diggs' new post.
No.
Something along the lines of I'm freaking fan works well. And it's like some kids and whatever gonna go. Steph Diggs will be the guy that gets arrested in this offseason.
Okay.
Very good. Has the NBA Finals been no juice?
There's
Nothing to it.
There's nothing that you'd be like, I'm gonna stay up late and watch this. No. Nah.
I don't think there's been, and we made this turn, or at least I made this turn in SGA earlier this season. But the turn to like hate a guy, like everybody loved.
You did.
I did. I stand by it, and now America does too. But America loves to build you up and knock you down. Not many people have been built up and knocked down as fast as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And you know why? Because they finally get a chance to watch him play, and they hate it because
He just falls
just
and just
a
flops
better
all the time.
James Harden. It's infuriating.
Yeah. He doesn't go to strip
Shitty.
clubs.
It's a shitty, yeah. That's where we're at. It's a shitty brand of basketball. Overall, the Thunder is not a shitty brand of basketball, but he is. And yeah, and Pacers have no fucking business being there.
Well, they're winning right now.
Yeah,
I know.
we'll
I
see.
say that just in they're very 2004 Pistons kind of.
I hope they force a game seven. That'll be Sunday. I would probably watch that.
I will watch a game
I
seven.
would watch
and
a game 7. Yeah,
I would root heavily for the Pacers.
as would I.
Marketing department. See, that's what they want. They know everyone. Hey, I'd fucking watch a game 7. Yeah, why not? Winner go home.
Exactly,
You know?
I'm sure the
Scott-
refs are going to lean hard on the Pacers tonight.
Scott Fosty in there tonight.
It has to be. It has to be him roughing tonight.
Rockets extended Udoka. Did the Celtics make a mistake letting him go?
Yes.
No.
Wait, Bobby, go ahead. No,
I mean,
shut up.
obviously, this is a
There it is.
question that I put in here so I could rant about Missoula's dumbass. Of course. They would have 2 more titles if he was still there.
Yes, I agree. He's a better basketball coach than Joe Mazzulla. However, he dicked down one of the owner's
I
wives.
don't give a shit about that.
You can't have that. You like the dysfunction in the Red Sox organization is tearing the team apart from the inside, and no one dicked down anybody that we know of. Udoka went in there and plowed some owner's wife. You can't have that shit.
Probably
over
hot as fuck. How
hanging
could
over
you?
the
What the
fucking
hell?
team?
I wish we knew who it was so we could Google her.
Yeah.
Nobody in Houston gives a shit.
There's like 1,000 owners of the. There's like 1,000 minority owners for the.
Well,
of the
first of
Celtics.
all, and then you got the new
It was
owner.
Wicks.
His wife would have loved that shit, so it would have all worked out.
No,
She would've
Missoula's
wrote a
already
book
on
about
the
that.
short- Missoula's on the hall pass for the new owner's wife. We should know her name. I don't. Sorry. Yes. Although, yeah. No, Udoka would be better than Missoula. I agree with you. Although I think a coach like that in the NBA probably has a shorter lifespan. Like the players probably get sick of him, and then you'd kind of have to start over. But that's already happening anyway. So, yeah. But you can't keep a coach who's dick down one of your owner's wives. You just can't have that hanging over.
I disagree completely.
You know what? You guys are right. I'm wrong. We'll be right back with checking in with the. We'll do a little Celtics check-in and a little Bruins check-in, real quick right after this. I'm a man by the world's embrace, in precious eyes. We'll start Bruins here. Brad Marchand is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion for the Florida Panthers. An absolute dominant run by Marchand. Do you care?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm happy.
go on.
I'm happy for him. I like Brad
Oh,
Marchand.
you're happy for him.
I'm happy for him. He went to a team. He won. He had a hell of a fucking series. Now the Bruins only got a first-round pick for him, and he was in the running for Conn Smythe. I think he was the second odds-on favorite to win it. So, yeah, it's funny. The Bruins let this guy go. Everyone thought he was washed up. Blah blah blah. He shouldn't have been the captain here. Blah blah blah. Goes there in Florida and wins a cup. I'm happy for him.
I am too. I was more talking about like people are like upset or butthurt or like
I'm not.
confused about being happy for him or not. No, you should be happy for him. And the Bruins should have traded him. Both of those were the right moves.
They should have got a little more
They
for
got a
him.
first-round pick for a 37-year-old guy who was injured. What do you want more? They got a first-round pick for a 37-year-old declining player who was currently off of the ice and with no timetable to return. They got a first-round pick. What I don't. This is what I mean. I don't agree with that. I'm not as down on Sweeney as a lot. Everybody wants to fire Sweeney. It's like I don't see that. Like who's going to
Give
do
you
it
to
better?
November. I'll give you to November, and then we'll be having a little rant, and you'll have some hot snakes, and you'll be saying, "This fucking
No.
guy,
We'll
this fucking
see.
guy couldn't draft to save his fucking life.
We'll
He got the wrong fucking guy. He should have taken this guy instead of that guy. Why do we have
won't
all
know
these fucking
shit
young
about
guys?"
the NHL draft, which we will touch on next week as the Bruins potentially look to trade up with some real crazy rumors, which we're late tonight, so we'll touch on next week. The NHL draft is next Friday, I do believe, 27th. So we'll do that next week. There are some rumors around there. Just to stick on the Stanley Cup real quick, though. I love the NHL injury report after the season's over and what guys play through. Like very famously, 2011, Patrice Bergeron played through like a punctured lung.
Yep.
So Matthew Tkachuk played through a adductor off the adductor. Is that what it's called? Tore off the bone, and he had a sports hernia the whole time. He said multiple times he's like, I couldn't play, and the medical staff just like pumped him up with whatever.
Don't be a pussy. Get up there.
Every year,
Core muscle? How do you not play? How do you play with that?
hockey
Adductor?
guy. Just a
You
fucking
take a
hockey guy.
shot. You take a shot. You don't feel any
guess.
pain. You just fucking go, baby.
No. It's simply hockey guys. You strap on the skates and you fuck. Like LeBron on the other side of it is complaining about he wants games to be 40 minutes now, not 48. I don't know if you saw that. And he doesn't understand the obsession with rings, with championship rings.
because he doesn't have enough.
Meanwhile, Matthew Tkachuk is getting muscles ripped off his rib cage and hernias popping out as he's skating. He's skating for
Doctors are like, boop,
20
that's
minutes
fine.
and like
You're good.
pounding into guys forechecking, winning. Like the hockey guys, man, hockey guys. Like every year people forget. I watched way more of the Stanley Cup Finals with no, I didn't care who
No
won.
rooting interest.
I didn't watch any NBA playoffs. The Stanley Cup playoffs is the best playoffs. They're just a little too long. They're still a little like hockey and basketball is still just a little too long, but hockey by far is way better than watching the playoffs.
Yep.
These guys are unbelievable. Will McDavid ever win a Stanley Cup?
Not in Edmonton.
Yeah, I think
guess
that's probably
his
right.
contract's up next offseason. He'll be the biggest commodity that everyone's going to be bidding for. So I don't think he's going to be winning anything in Edmonton.
I think I agree with you. I think he ring chases his next move or two.
I don't think he even ring chases. I just think the next franchise that goes and gets him will build around him. And
Oh
do a better
no! If he leaves the Oilers, he will go to a ready-made team.
You think so?
Yeah, he has to.
Why wouldn't you?
He's not young anymore. Like he's been in the league nearly a decade.
It's true. The NHL probably wants him to go to a better team so they can market around him better because he is the face of the league right
They
now.
want him to probably at this point stay in Canada, like Toronto.
No, you can't go to Toronto because that's a fucking loser franchise. You can't.
Yeah,
You can't
well,
do
you
it
and
now.
I, we know that, but like the NHL keeps
NHL know
forgetting
that?
and
Yeah.
fucking Canada keeps forgetting that.
Yeah.
Or the Rangers or like a bigger market like that. But a team ready to go. He's not going to go. He's not going to be like a middling market team that dumps all. He's not going to take the biggest contract type of deal. He will go to a team that's ready to go, and he will get a Stanley Cup. He's too good not to. Like who's at the level of his skill and accomplishments that has not won a championship? I will. We can spend some time. Get back to me next segment. Like the list of non-championship winners: Barkley, Ewing, Marino, Dan Marino.
Dan
Marino. He might be if he does not win, he's the Dan Marino of the NHL.
I like that.
If Dan Marino won a Super Bowl, would he be a top 5 quarterback of all time?
Yep.
More than likely.
I think that's probably right. If Connor McDavid wins a Stanley Cup, he's in that top 10 conversation. There's way more better like hockey players.
Just what fucking franchise would he go to though? That's the question.
I don't know hockey well enough to like look at the rosters in 2 or 3 years from now to look at that and tell you. But
yeah,
Edmonton's probably not going to be it. But he'll win. Yeah, I think he'll win.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There's the NHL stuff. Again, we'll get back to the NHL draft next week. and what the Bruins are looking like moving forward. I did just want to touch on quickly the Celtics. The Celtic stuff that's popping up on the social media. I don't even know if I made it into the email here. The Celtics are taking trade requests for Derek White and Jaylen Brown. They're
listening. They're not taking. They're just listening.
Right. They're listening. Their door's open. They're reportedly getting, quote, crazy offers for both players. And Brad Stevens is reportedly not going to pull the trigger on anything other than some type of unbelievable, monumental deal. So my biggest question is why do you even open the door? Like,
just to see what everyone's interest is. See what you can get. What would be a crazy deal?
Gauge the interest.
I mean, I guess, but you know how these players are. Unless Brad Stevens is on that good of a relationship with
Jaylen Brown is always every year is in trade.
Which is what I mean. And look, I put Jaylen Brown. Oh, it is in here. Jaylen Brown is. This doesn't mean a whole lot. We don't put a ton of stock in this, but like Jaylen Brown is spending his summer here, his offseason in Boston, in the community, bettering the community. He took his $50 million sneaker deal, he didn't take any of it, put it into youth support and education and social justice initiatives. I don't think that's not getting enough play. Just get his name off your fucking lips. He's the top 10, 15 player in the NBA. You're going to miss Tatum next year. There's no reason for you to tank or retool or whatever. Just come out and say Jaylen Brown is untouchable. Can anybody give this guy an ounce of support from the Celtics organization just fucking once? No, we're gonna listen to talks for Jaylen Brown. Who are you gonna get for Jaylen Brown that you're gonna go, oh man, can't pass that up?
Giannis,
right? And they're not doing that. And I don't even know if I trade Jaylen Brown for Giannis. Like Jokic, like the list starts with Jokic and kind of fucking ends there. I saw a Steph Curry deal. First of all, the Warriors aren't trading Steph Curry for Jaylen Brown.
I wouldn't do that.
I'm not either.
I wouldn't do that.
I'm not trading Steph Curry for Jaylen Brown.
That's a terrible trade.
Just get him off your lips, Brad. Just tell he's a Celtic. He will be a Celtic. He's our future. He's our team. He's our captain. Give this guy a little bit of support. That's not usually my MO. I don't really give a shit about players and what their feelings are. But this guy's earned it, and you need him. So shut up. You're not trading Jaylen Brown. Been saying that since Tatum got hurt. They're not trading Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
What about Derek White, Bobby?
Oh, yeah. If you get the right offer, you trade him 100%. I don't want them to. I like the player. I've enjoyed watching him, but I think you 100% listen.
If you can get something like what Memphis got for Bane, that's something to do.
I'd listen on Derek White because Derek White's older than you think.
Yeah, he's
31,
31, right?
Yeah.
He's in his prime right now.
Yeah, he's come into his prime a little bit later, and he's there. I'd listen on Derek White, where before I was a no, but I'd give it a little more. If someone wants to get stupid, if someone wants to get dumb on Derek White, sure.
That could be a way by packaging White and Porzingis that you get rid of Porzingis and kind of reshape using that asset.
Oh, get ready for Porzingis sticking around. You've already seen that.
No one's gonna want that guy.
The first reports after the season were Porzingis is viewed as a negative asset around the league, but the Celtics are listening to offers, and now everything you hear is, well, he's not we might want to keep him around, and when he's healthy, he's a very valuable asset. All the little dribbles and drabs sneaking out now is all positive of Porzingis. Look for him to sign an extension for a lower deal than he's getting. Like a 3-year, $18 million deal, or like $18 million per or something like that. Because no one wants him. But you're right. If you can attach him to a guy like Derek White and take a little bit less back, if you really want to get rid of him, maybe. We'll have a lot of time to talk about that as the Red Sox continue to
suck.
Thank you. Okay. Right back for I never really know where these things are going. Our next segment is Dr. Big Mac's Big Brain. We have to be very careful. This is a very sensitive topic that we're about to get into. Ray has an ounce of racism that sometimes pops out when he's drinking. So we'll be right back with that. And we're back with Dr. Big Mac's Big Brain, where we dive into the simple mind of Mr. Raymond Langevin, the obvious one.
You don't have to fucking use my fucking first and last name. I mean, Jesus Christ, when we're going to this topic. Jesus.
We'll beep that. So here you are. Go ahead.
So today being Juneteenth and a federal holiday, I would like to trade some holidays that I think are pointless for more important ones.
Okay, so just so we're clear, this has nothing to do with Juneteenth.
No.
Thank God. Okay, we're in the clear.
All right, so for example, let me just throw this out there. This is my example for you guys. For example, Columbus Day, or now Indigenous Peoples Day, is in October. And who gives a shit about Columbus? Let's trade this holiday for Super Bowl Sunday, the day after, Monday. Everyone takes that off. So instead of everyone having fucking Columbus Day, Monday in October, which is usually shitty, weather sucks, give me Super Bowl Sunday. Make that the federal holiday. Let's trade Columbus Day for the day after Super Bowl.
No.
Pretty obvious answer from the Indian on the panel.
Yep. But what would you say, normal person?
I would say that makes sense, except for the fact that Super Bowl comes clumped like right after Christmas and New Year's, and you got a lot of time off. Like, it would just be another day off. I think this has been floated around a long time. The NFL should do everybody right and just put, what's the holiday in February that everybody gets?
Great.
Saturday. It should be Saturday night. It's 2 weeks later on Saturday night. It's a simple solution.
I hate Super Bowl Saturday.
Shut up, Engine. I got another one.
Super Bowl Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday.
You're talking about President's Day. That's the February holiday. So now that's the next dumb holiday. Who gives a fuck about President's Day?
Well, just take your
respectful son of a bitch. Those are our forefathers, you cunt.
Yeah, you piece of shit. Just
you're looking at two of your fathers right here, there, Bobby.
How can I have two?
Because we both fuck your mother.
Adopted me?
No, because we both fuck your mother. So you can call me daddy, and you can call me daddy too.
You had sex with the woman doesn't mean that.
It does now. It does now. Call me Papa.
From the rest of the show, you call him Papa, and me Papa too.
Yeah, you call me Papa.
You essentially insinuated that the two of you are in a homosexual relationship.
No, I'm just insinuating that I fuck your mother. That's all I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, and whatever. I'll get close with Ray and your mother. This is the relationship that you were looking for. Power couples. And I just back myself out every once in a while. Come in, enjoy, get out.
I like my scenario better.
I have a couple more. The next dumb holiday is President's Day, even though that's his forefathers, blah, blah, blah. Now that we have the day after Super Bowl in February, doesn't need another holiday. Instead, let's move this federal holiday to March and make St. Patrick's Day an official federal holiday, and let's have that fucking day off.
Now, I will say this. I don't give Ray many compliments, but I will say this is big of him because I knew this would get racist at some point. Ray hates the Irish.
I do.
And I know the only reason he says this because he is an alcoholic, but it's still big of him to piss on the graves of George Washington. Because he's been surrounded by them his entire life, and we've all been cunts to him. For him to piss on the graves of George Washington and John Adams, just so we could celebrate.
It helps the economy too, because all the bars and restaurants would be filled, and everyone.
They are anyway. No one works on St. Patrick's Day.
All right, the next one I want to get rid of. I don't want to get rid of. I just want to move it. Veterans Day. Respect to our veterans. I love our veterans. They do great. But let's move the Veterans Day to the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So now we have a fucking 5-day weekend. No more stressing over fucking Thanksgiving. So now you have Veterans Day on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Mwah.
I see.
Thoughts?
I'm okay with that. Yeah,
that's a fine idea.
Of no consequence.
All right. Next dumb fucking holiday is Labor Day. Who gives a flying fuck about Labor Day? I'm sure Rich will have some stupid reason why Labor Day is very important to society, but let's move this to Christmas Eve. I don't get Christmas Eve off. It's not a federal holiday.
Oh, this is a dumb idea. Again, stacking too much next to each other. You're getting too greedy. You just want to work directly through.
It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. It nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
Oh shit.
That was so. It was April 4th. I mean, that would be fucking great. You'd have another day off in April.
Yeah. No, spring break. Whew, okay. You know what? Food for thought.
Yeah. We'll table that. We'll come back to that later.
We're gonna workshop that.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're gonna workshop
excellent segment.
Yep. Let's switch gears here. We're gonna go to Simplest Minds of the Week. We got a couple candidates. We're gonna start with Marathon Mom.
She pegs her husband for sure.
So anyone listening, that was a woman running a marathon that her kids and her husband are at. Her kids, young kids, 4 or 5 maybe, and she just completely avoids them, crosses the finish line, celebrates like an absolute hero, and the kids and the father are left crying and dismayed. Marathon runners, yeah,
There's something else.
oof.
Speaking of hot snakes, I mean, Jesus Christ.
I will say this though, like if you just ran 27 miles and your kids are like 10 feet before the finish line, it's like, come on. Can you just like wait after the finish line?
Can you be after the line? Yeah.
Shit.
Clearly, she had a good time because she broke the ribbon. So
Yeah, no, this is a Red Sox situation. Everybody's in the wrong here.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the one that I don't know if is real or not, but
Fuck! I had to watch it twice. I was like, God damn.
the reaction from the guy makes me laugh so hard. This one's called Chinese Tourist.
不用对着这个啊，这个只要下去打开就可以了。哎呦！咦，一下扔的，孩子，对，看钱。
Mandarin, he said, "You fucking idiot."
Can you play it one more time? Can you play it one more time?
不用对着这个啊，这个只要下去打开就可以了。哎呦！咦，一下扔的，孩子，对，看钱。
He's dead.
Guy just jumps to his death.
He did. He did.
Anyone listening, it's just a bungee jump, and there's two
There's
guys,
no bungee jump.
and the tourist walks out. They didn't attach the bungee to him, and he just jumps off. And the two guys act like you just walked, like they just like put cement on the sidewalk and you walk through it, and they're like, fuck, man, shit. Like, no, this guy jumps off to his death. Like, shit, another one.
Yeah, it's definitely happened before.
The reason why I think we can laugh at it because I'm pretty sure it's fake. Like,
No.
the guy gets right in the frame where you can't see him jump.
It's China.
It's Dana.
Well, if he did die, then it's not funny.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh no, it's not. No,
This
it's
is not. It's not
No.
funny.
It's not funny, Bobby.
Not funny, Bobby.
Still funny.
This is funny, and this one's
He's
for
dead.
Red. It's called sausage rolls.
This is what I'd probably get if I made 40 years at my
Man
company.
receives 40 sausage rolls as a reward for working 40 years at a sausage factory, and he seems so happy about it.
Hey, Bobby, how much sausage did your mom get for getting all that dick for 40 years?
That sucks. Terrible.
Oh, well done.
All right, let's
You're
close
on
it
a
out
roll
on,
today.
let's close it out on a high. This is the thing that made me laugh and smile the most today, and it's Antonio Brown.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
Just riding his bicycle, worn out for his arrest for murder, and just riding his bike.
That's Antonio Brown somewhere in the Middle East riding a wide-barred, handlebarred bike with the shit-eating grin on his face as authorities are looking for him because he's wanted for murder or
catch me.
attempted murder.
Can't catch me, man.
Yeah, he let a couple pop off.
Do you know how many, like, this is the Simple Mind Sports Show, and Antonio Brown is the perfect, like, he's just in Florida somewhere. He got into a scuffle, fired some shots. Someone's like, yo, Antonio, they got a warrant for you. You're in arrest. He's like, fuck this, man. I'm out of here. It's like, he just leaves, which is the most simple solution. Like, if this was the Wild West, like you're in Toledo, they're like, you just shot this dude, man. You got to leave. He's like, all right, I'm leaving. And then he goes to fucking Texas for the rest of his life, and he's never seen again. And he lives with it. Antonio Brown's like, I'm just going to go. And
I'm just going to go to the Middle East. I'm out. Where's he? Dubai right now? They're thinking
United Emirates. Yeah, I think so. Okay. There's no, yeah, I don't know where he is. He's having a time of his life on a massive handlebar bike.
Just loving life.
He's wanted for murder in Dades County.
Can't count me. Can't catch me.
Think about what's in his brain. He doesn't care. No. Think about what's in his head right now. Like, yo, you can't go back to the United States, man. You wanted for murder. He's like,
probably like, what? Fuck it. Like, what? Why are all these women wearing scarves? It's fucking
Antonio Brown acts like how you would want to act. That's how I picture him.
You want to act like Antonio Brown? Okay, that's
you want to do whatever you fucking want to do.
Worse than celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday. Antonio Brown like murders and rapes people. Bobby's like, that's the guy I want to be. Fucking society had no rules. We'd all be Antonio Brown. Goddamn laws. Oh shit. Okay. Well, this has been the Sid My Sports Show, Friday Rewind, live Juneteenth. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.